Hey guys, this is The Bit, and this is Crash Team Racing Episode 3. For this episode, I'm going to be using the same method of recording that I used in Part 2 because that one felt the best to me. It felt better than Part 1. So I'm going to be doing that, and I hope you guys like it. To me, it feels more fluid and natural, and yeah, so we're gonna hop right into this third area here, and the first track of this area is Blizzard Bluff. Alright, so something about me, I really like snow and ice levels in video games. Yeah, I'm that guy. You know, you always hear people complaining about, oh man, ice levels suck, snow levels suck, but I think they're great. I really like how pretty they are, and the ice, like slipping, doesn't really bother me as much as it bothers other people. And particularly this track has only one really icy segment right at the end, and it's really very bearable and doable. It's not a problem at all, and that's basically it for that the icy section. So yeah, as you can see, this track is very short, but it's a good one nonetheless. One of my favorite tracks. That shortcut there is a little bit of a tight window, to be honest with you. You have to be going a certain speed to be able to get over that lake. See there, I was trying to, if I can back up, I can turn around and get back in this race. There, I was trying to jump over that fence. I don't do that very often, but I just thought I would try and show it to you guys, but didn't work out. That shaves off, I think, like 5 seconds from your lap. It's a pretty good shortcut when you make it, but if you don't, then you pretty much have to start over. But luckily, I was far enough ahead to not have to do that. Right, so the next track in this area is Dragon Mines, and I don't like this track. This is my least favorite track in the game. The music is pretty annoying to me, honestly, and also there's a turn right in the middle of the track that is way too tight, and it's just not very enjoyable to me. There's mine carts that can squash you. It's just, I mean, it looks nice. Like, I like the caves and the mining aesthetic that it has, but just this turn right here, I hate this turn because you cannot take it fast. Otherwise, it's another short track, except this one is not as good as Blizzard Bluff, which is one of the better short tracks in my opinion. Coming up here, there's actually a shortcut on this mine track. If you go to the right there, instead of across the tracks, you can come out and around through this track right here. Which is a good shortcut, but only if you have a mask, because otherwise the track actually slows you down and you will actually go slower for taking the shortcut. So that's Dragon Mines. Like I said, I do not like that track. That was also the boss track of this world, which makes it even worse, but you know, it's bearable. So the next track is Polar Pass, and this right now is my favorite track in the game. As I mentioned before, I really love snow levels, and this is just an even longer and more creative snow level than the last one. I also really like the music on this track. overall, I think this track is probably the best combination of length and difficulty. There's seals that go across, which are pretty easy to avoid if you know the timings. I don't know the timings, but even then they're still pretty easy to avoid. You just have to go where they aren't. I like this little bridge section, and I like this I just love everything about this track. This is, like I said, right now, this is my favorite track in the game. I go through moods of which track I like most, and usually it'll switch between like 2 or 3 tracks, but this is one of them. So keep that in mind, I guess. I hope you guys like it too, because it's a really good track. Alright, that's what happens if you touch the seals. They act like a beaker and they just make you spin out, which is a little bit annoying because you can slip into a wall really easily, but as I said before, they're for the most part easy to avoid. The next shortcut is right here, this wall. Oh, but I didn't do it. So if you're going fast enough and you jump at the perfect time, you can jump right over that wall. But obviously, I didn't do it. Alright, let's see if I can make it this time. Yep. Alright, so that's that shortcut. As you can see, makes this track a lot faster. It's a very good shortcut, a little bit hard to pull off, but it's one of the best in the game. And that's Polar Pass. Right, the last track of this area is Tiny Arena, and this is kind of a fun track. It's the longest track in the game, so it is a little bit, you know, it loses a little bit of polish because of that, but otherwise I really like this track. Yeah, there's a lot of steep hills, and there's mud, it slows you down, a lot of jumping on this track. You're going to be boosting pretty much constantly on this track, so even though it is the longest track, it's not necessarily slow. There's, as you can see, a lot of turns. And as I said, you pretty much want to boost off of every single one of these turns. Always jump off of the hills because you can get a boost that way. Yeah, this this track, if you want to sum it up, it's just hills and sharp turns. Which is fine, you know. It's a fun track. It's just a little bit too long for my liking. So it's never been my favorite, but it's not bad. That was weird. I don't know why I got locked on by a missile if no one was near me, but I guess it's just a bug. I don't know. There's not really a lot of shortcuts on this track. I don't actually know if there are any shortcuts on this track, which is another reason why I don't really like it, because it's just an unavoidably really long track. But as I said before, it's not the worst track in the game. As you can see in the top left corner, even with me going pretty fast on this track, each lap is still over a minute long, which is, yeah, it's a long track. I definitely feel it's the longest track in the game by a considerable amount. Right, so this guy is Komodo Joe, and to be honest with you, he's just a Ripperoo, but upgraded. That's literally it. Ripperoo's item, as you may or may not remember, was the TNT crate, and Komodo Joe's item is the Nitro crate, which, as I discussed in part 2, the Nitro crate is the TNT crate but upgraded. So yeah, it's pretty much the same race except on a worse track. So yeah, needless to say, I don't really like this boss race at all. Easily my least favorite. Still not super difficult, but that doesn't really make it fun necessarily. It's just this track. It's honestly just this track. I just do not like this track, but I'll stop complaining about it. I don't want to go through the water because I don't know the exact spot to jump through it to make me go faster, because you can do that in that water patch. You can jump through it and it's faster than driving around it, but I don't know the specific jumping location. And as I said before, you definitely do not want to go through that minecart route unless you have a mask, because you will just get crushed by the minecarts and slowed down, and it just will not be worth it. That was a weird camera angle, but that always happens if you jump too high there. Yeah, pretty underwhelming boss race for me. I do not like it, but we won, so that's what matters. Alright, so that's it for part 3. I'm just gonna head to this save point, and that'll be that. I think this has definitely been the shortest so far. As far as I feel when I'm playing, it could be the same length as the others. I don't really know until I'm done editing, but yeah. This has been part 3 of Crash Team Racing. Let me know if you liked the intro. I made that on a website. I forget what it's called. I think it's called like Panzoid or something. I'll put it on the screen so you can see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.